Welcome to the Dream Big, Ball Hard podcast with your girl Venus McCall and your boy I Am Your Brand Man. Don't forget to subscribe. What's up, guys? What is up? We are back. It is the Dream Big, Ball Hard podcast. You know what it is.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Episode number 6. I am your brand man, here with the wonderful, the only
Coach V. I am here, Venus Mac Hall.
yes, Venus Mac Hall. You heard that? Yes. I was like, where'd that come from? I had to question myself real quick. Yeah. It's like a mix of a smoker and a Lil Jon. Yeah. Yeah. We're here, y'all. Episode 6.
We are here, and as you guys can see, we are super excited. We are super pumped. I couldn't wait for this episode. I've been waiting to information to the people.
Yeah, this was one of your topics, V, and I'm interested in seeing and hearing all of the great information you plan on bringing to the table, because I'm taking my notes because I know how important this is, and I had to get it myself, but I need some more. So, and I told V, I was like, yo, V, I need to do a GoFundMe. She's like, yeah, nah, player.
You know what? What I should have told you is to don't ever repeat that to anybody else, because did you just say that? Are we recording live?
All right, maybe I wasn't going to do a GoFundMe. I said I need to raise some money.
Be patient with my partner, y'all. No, but honestly, like, I'm sure somebody else feels that way. Like, I need to bring in some money for my business. I need to bring in some funding for my business. Like, what can I do to bring in more money? And that's a great question. And I have been all about leveraging my LLC. I'm all about that. I built it up, and I don't put anything in my personal name, especially if it's referring to business. But let's start. We got to start off. We always forget to ask about the big dream.
Yeah.
And so my big dream for this week, I am having a business funding, business credit, class-wise business credit important, November 2nd. So my big dream for this week is to pack as many people as I can into this class and to give the information firsthand from experience that I have, in order and hopes to help and change other business owners.
Okay. Big dreamer. Yo, my big dream this week or last week or whatever. My big dream
Right now,
my big dream is I have great clients, a school in particular, and a movie premiere that is coming up this Saturday. And actually we're doing, me and my family, we're doing 2 vending events this Saturday. So one for the school and one for the movie premiere. And my big dream is simply this. I don't want no hiccups. I want to deliver everything with perfection. And even though I know perfection isn't that possible, and I would always, not always possible, it is possible on my level of perfection, because I can be a perfectionist. But the reason I want to deliver is because if I deliver at these moments, these 2 vending events in particular, great things will happen from those, because it's all about being able to just serve with excellence and get those connections. So at this movie premiere, there's going to be a lot of people from Los Angeles there, well-connected folks. And I hate to use that well-connected thing because everybody uses that, but people that know people. And I'm normally not interested in the people that say, oh, yeah, I work with it, and they just start shouting out A-list names. No, I want to find the people that work with their makeup artists. I want to find the people that work with their wardrobe team. I want to find the people that know their mama. I want to find the people that know the people around them, because that's how you get close to those A-list people.
Right.
And people talk about all that big name stuff, but I don't care nothing about that. I'm looking for the people that got that person's ear all the time. Because why? Nobody's looking at that person, and nobody's talking to those people thinking that they can get that connection. So that's where my eyes will be at the premiere. I'm always on the lookout. So my eyes are going to be looking at the important people and who's the people that's close to those people, because that's who I'm going to bump up on my wife and be like, yo, go talk to that lady about lady stuff and talk about us.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So my little 2 cents to you is to, if you want this to be perfection, start crafting it before you get to
Yeah.
the event.
Yeah.
Like map it out, write
Yeah.
it down, make a plan, even down to your table, what you want your table to look like. Draw like, okay, I want my shirts here, I want my
Yeah.
paint line here. Like map it out and then give it to your team and then let your hands off of it and let them execute with their
I love
support.
it. V, exactly. So so I'm not good at decorating and doing all that stuff. So my wife handles it and she tells me, get away, right?
Period.
But in the same instance, and you'll see I did it live and she was like, no, don't touch nothing. But I do that. I think of everything that we need. Like I think of the necessities. I say, okay, we need the plugin. Okay, we need this. Okay, we need that. We need a QR code. We need this. And she is able to then execute in the best way possible that I know, or that she even knows. She does it perfectly. So no, thank you for that, because that just confirmed that I'm doing the right thing.
Right. Period.
Yeah. So, y'all, we are here. Dream big, ball hard. And our topic of today is business funding, business credit, and why it's so important. But not only why it's so important, but how you acquire it. How can you go about doing what V said and using your LLC and not putting things in your name? Because if you know by now, and if you didn't know, an LLC is just like a whole nother person. It's like a whole human being. It has its own credit score. You know, your LLC it pays its own taxes. Your LLC is its own individual, and you can utilize that in a very intelligent way. And I know about it, and I have utilized business credit. And I am in the process of acquiring business funding because, simply put, I got high demand, very low supply, but I'm having not a supply issue. Well, I think I need better machine. I need better things to carry out my systems a little bit better. So I need to optimize and get some better software and do all of those things, but that stuff costs. And so cash flow becomes a thing. And so, when's the right time to take out a loan? When's the right time to do all of this, right? And so B, who is much more experienced with me in running the business from, for how many, 15, 17, 20, 30, how many years?
Yeah.
How many years?
So I've been in business for let's just round it off to 20 years. Being an entrepreneur for 20 years. I have not correctly been running a business. Only the last 10 years I have been correctly, when I mean correctly, doing everything the right way. LLC, all of those things. I want to start off to say that I am not a business credit coach. I'm not a guru. I am not educated. I am just speaking off of real life experiences. All I'm doing is showing people what I did for myself, for my business, for my credit. That's all I'm talking about. Do not be like, oh, whatever, because the disclaimer is right here. I am not a business credit coach. I'm not a credit specialist. I'm not a credit repair person. Don't call me and ask me, can I fix your credit? Because no, I cannot. All I can do is show you and tell you what I did.
Lay out the facts.
Right. And so the first thing I want to say to people, well, let's talk about why business credit is important, right?
Okay.
Business credit is so important because, for one, like you said, your LLC, your entity is like a whole nother person. So you can literally build another credit side, like you have your personal side and your business side, and you can really rack up money on your business side, and it'll never affect your personal. That's why people say all the time, get your LLC, because if something happens and somebody tries to sue you, they'll be suing the LLC and not coming after your personal assets. So the most important thing in order to get business funding, you have to have an LLC or a corporation. I'm not really too sure about nonprofits. I'm sure they can build.
They get business funding and credit.
Business funding. And here, once again, guys, I'm not a guru. I don't have a nonprofit, so that's not my specialty. But I do know for an LLC, or if you have a corporation, then yes, you're able to build business credit. You cannot build business credit as a sole proprietor. That's why I tell people all of the time, do not structure your business as a sole proprietor. If your business is not intact, like if you don't have an LLC or a corporation or a nonprofit, or you don't have your EIN, or you don't have a website, if you don't have an email address, like your email address cannot be IamYourBrandman@gmail.com. I'm sorry.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
I ain't feel like buying that subscription, so I was like, it works the same way.
I'm sorry. That was not a shot. I just was literally.
I got me an info at Josiah Enterprise,
See?
but
So
nobody even uses it. Nobody uses it.
But here's the thing. When you go to apply for business credit, it can't be venusmchall@gmail.com because they're going to look at you. Anybody can create this email. Yeah. You're not a real business if you're still using Gmail, Hotmail. You are a real business, but the banks are not going to look at you like a real business if you're still using Gmail, Hotmail, AOL, wherever you are using. It has to.
Real quick question. So that is an imperative point, because so when I go there, I want to make sure that I know how to get the IamYourBrandman.com situation popping, like info at IamYourBrandman. But you're saying that makes the world of a difference of making sure that when you go there, that's what your paperwork reads.
Yes. Let me give you a little checklist. So you have to have an LLC or a corporation, DUNS number. You have to have an EIN number, because you can have an EIN in some loans and credit cards. They say just an EIN, but your DUNS number, and for you guys who don't know, is Dun and Bradstreet. I almost had a brain freeze.com. And your DUNS number is actually your business social security number. And if you go on that website, you are able to track your business. It gives you like a credit report for your business. So you're able to track everything. So you have to have that. I've heard some people say you have to have a toll-free number. I'm going to tell you that I do not have a toll-free number for my business, and I've gotten plenty of business funding. So I said, I said the structure, EIN, DUNS number, the domain email from your company. I don't have the phone number, but I've heard phone numbers a whole bunch of times, and I feel like I'm missing something. But you have to have these things in order. Another thing I want to give you guys, you cannot start trying to build business credit and try to apply for a gas card right off the bat. Like, it's levels to this. Like, you have to start.
Talk about that.
You have to start at level 1 and work your way up to level. Their tiers. So you have to start at tier 1. You cannot go in and be like, oh, I'm going to do this. Another thing is, and everything has to be right. Like for a long time, I was trying to get business credit cards, and I kept getting denied. I was like, why am I getting denied? So you have to have a NAV account. So you don't have to, but having a NAV account is something good to basically go with your DUNS report. So on my DUNS report, it was saying Glam Bar the. And on NAV, it was saying the Glam Bar, which is the name of the salon, the Glam Bar. But because somehow it was put in incorrectly with DUNS, I was getting denied because it was looking like I was almost doing fraud or almost not correct because the naming was off.
Dang.
If I would have put in, if they say, what's the name of your legal business? If I would have put in Glam Bar I probably would have got approved because that's what was going to my record. So everything has to be A1. Address, phone number, website, email address. Everything has to be correctly across the board.
So how'd you fix that?
With your DUNS report, you can go in and update things and change things. Because if you move, your company moves, and you can always go in there and update like, hey, I moved, or, whatever, I moved. So you could go in there and fix that. Another thing that will really, really, really help you, and what really, really helped me move the pace faster, was building my personal credit. That took me to the next level. I heard a lot of people say, don't never put your social security down. Don't never put your social security down. But why not? If you're trying to get a $50,000 loan and they're like, you need a guarantor. That's almost like if you're trying to go get a car, you need a cosigner.
Yeah.
If your business is correct, if you're running things correctly, if you're doing things the way that you're supposed to do, why not guarantee from yourself? Now, if you out here scamming or you try and get loans and you don't want to pay them back, or you don't want to, you're just trying to get at a quick dollar, then no, I don't recommend putting your personal Social Security. But if you're trying to build and your credit is good, when I did that, it literally shot my odds up.
Nice. Now, let me ask this because, I was able to get a business credit card.
Okay.
And when I heard all of, it kind of blew my mind. The guy that was presenting it, he was just like, your business credit and your personal credit aren't one and the same, X, Y, and Z. And what you do on your business credit. So, how on your personal credit, you can only use up to 30%, right? Before it starts really looking bad. And but he was saying with your business credit, you can max out and it doesn't affect your personal credit. Now, when I got my business credit card, it attached itself to my personal credit. And so, not to say that I even maxed out on that, John, but I did notice that it affected my personal credit. So at first I'm like, and then I was like, he ain't give the I'm not a guru explanation because it's connected, because the way he mentioned it, it wouldn't connect. So I heard in some cases they connect, some cases they don't. Talk about it.
So, right. Some cases they connect, some cases they don't. Like, for instance, I have a Capital on tap credit card. My limit is $10,000. You can max that out, or it's not reporting bad. Long as you make your payments, because that's the type of credit card that it's a 10%. So it's a monthly payment. They ask you, do you want to pay 10% of your balance, or do you want to pay the full balance? I chose to do 10% because if I needed to spend $5,000 one day for my business, at that, when my bill was due, I would have had to pay that $5,000 back.
Yeah,
so I said, no, I'll do 10%. So then I'll pay $500 back that month. That they say, I have not seen it going against. But I also have a Capital One business credit card. Mm-hmm. That Capital One business credit card does report on my credit because I did a personal guarantee, but I also did a personal guarantee for Capital One. For Capital on tap. So there's certain banks that they do and certain banks that they don't.
How can you tell which ones do and which ones don't?
So when you have the NAV account, the NAV allows you to see your trans union. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me, but I believe it's your TransUnion file for your business and for your personal. So I use that just to navigate back and forth, and I see them coming up. But NAV, also business credit is not like personal credit. Like, so to have a 750 or higher, 700 or higher, that's a good credit score. With business is A, B, or C, or D.
Okay.
And then you have this thing called your PAYDEX score. They said anything over an 85 is good. I had an 85. Right now I'm at an 83. And what happened was I got approved for one thing and I went crazy. I just was like, give me all of them. So, that was, and I don't have all of them. So I have Capital on tap. I have Capital One. I have American Express. I have another one. I can't think of it. And so I kind of, which I shouldn't have done. Discover is the other one I have. Which I shouldn't have done. But so my goal was to get an American Express. And I started with Capital on tap. And then I was like, all right, let me try for Discover. Because I just knew I wasn't going to get the American Express. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. It's my mom playing tricks on me. Like, girl.
Yeah. Never lies. Never lie.
Yeah, you don't deserve that. So I got Discover and I was like, oh, shit. And then I already had a Capital One with a personal. And they was like, they wound up giving me an increase on my personal side and then sent me this offer for like $500 to apply for my business. And I was like, why not? Yeah. That's how I got the Capital One. And then once I got the Discover, I was like, yo, just try American Express. And I got approved for the American Express. So, but none of that happened until I worked on my personal credit and I attached my personal credit.
Now, how long does it take to build your business credit up to even do you receive that 85, that score right away, or does it take a year? So it takes time, and I don't know how much time because I literally been trying to build my business credit forever. I pay people. I do not recommend paying anybody because the money that you spend to pay people, from experience, when I was paying people, the money I was investing into their business, I could have been paying my credit off. And for me, what I've seen with any business credit specialist that I ever work with, this is just me. This is no jab to any credit payment person, is that they like to do the slow process so they can keep you on. They might fix a couple of things
They ain't going to fix everything, and you can fix everything, fast. They going to slow walk you so that you can keep paying them. So for me, I would recommend doing everything yourself because it could be done. If you could pay somebody $89 a month, get on the phone, call these people. Hey, my credit is bad. How much do I have to pay it off? You don't have to put your personal, but I just seen the benefits of putting a personal. But if you don't want to put your personal, then you start off with the tier 1. Tier 1s are companies who do net 30 accounts. A net 30 account is that you order this stuff from this account, and in 30 days, you have to pay your balance.
So like a layaway program or something?
Not necessarily a layaway, because they give you, say you order $150. And so also, I know I'm all over the place, but with the tier 1s, you have to do over $150 for consecutive 3 to 6 months in order for them to report. You can't do $50. You can't do $80. You can do it, but they won't report.
And when you say do it, that means spend?
Spend.
Okay.
And so Quill, Granger, there's a whole list. Google tier 1 companies. I used Quill. I was a Quill fan when it started. I've heard some things where Quill doesn't report anymore, and I hear some people say Quill do report. You can always ask these companies when you call, hey, are y'all reporting to Dave and Bradstreet? If they say no, you don't want to deal with them because you want to deal with somebody who's going to report. It's a t-shirt company, and I'll get that information for you. That is a net 30 account, and they report. And so with a net 30 account, you're just using your EIN number. And it looks good to have your LLC. And you call these companies, let's just say it's Quill, that's who I used. And I'm like, hey, do you guys report? They're like, yes. Can I open up a net 30 account? They like, yes. When I started, mind you, I had no business credit. I had horrible credit. They said, you have to pay for your first order. Once you pay for your first order, your next order will give you a credit of $250 to spend. And so I paid for my first order. My first order was like $160.
And what did you buy? Were you buying like supplies for your business?
No. So you can buy, yes and no. So what I did was I bought supplies that I could use. Some people say they buy supplies and they try to resell them. I don't know how legal that is if you can do that. I bought tissues, paper towels, forks. I bought all the stuff that I was already buying. And then I used it for my business and home. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but if I'm not, don't know for your business. And so I did that. I bought paper plates, paper towels, and they have like in bulk. So one thing of tissue might be $50, but it's like 250 rolls. You know what I mean? So I was buying stuff like that, and I never went over 160 because I knew all I had to do was 150 for them to report. So I would do 160. And then think about it, guys, that money has to be paid in 30 days. So you don't want to go too greedy and mess up and can't pay it. And you don't want to order too much because you're not going to get more kudos for ordering more stuff.
Yeah. You know what? You brought up a big, and I hate to shift it, but I have to implement this before our time rolls out, is the part of the plan, right? Because like you said, you don't want to order too much because you do got to pay this off. But your plan is to acquire this business credit. A while ago, I was eligible for a nice amount of business credit, but I did not want to take on the bill because I did not have the plan in my business structure yet to finance that bill. Right. And so now where I'm at this point, I'm like, but my personal credit took a little dip in the process. And so like I did attach my personal credit to those situations. I think I also had a question of like how, well, you answered that actually. I'm sorry. So what I need to implement here is the importance of a plan. And so now I took my time when I said, yo, I'm not taking on that bill. I don't want the overhead right now. Let me create the plan. I created the plan. The plan is in place. The plan is working. Now I want to go get some business credit. Now, because my personal took a dip, I have to work on that first. Like that's my goal. Now that's my plan. Work on that. Once I get that up, I'm going back after that funding. And those can be some of the things like I mentioned earlier of a capital account, quote unquote, a GoFundMe, right? But we're not doing that. I'm going to go raise some money the way I know how to raise money, but it's important to get that infusion of cash so you can stay ahead of the game, because we know when you're trying to chase the dollars, it's very hard to concentrate and to think. And then you get into what we talked about in the last episode, those mental, the mental checks where you got to check your mental. So I just had to implement that. And what do you have to say to that in regards to not just going after the business funding? Because people hear this. I know a lot of podcasts, a lot of people talk about getting this business funding, and because you can get it. It is out there. But when you have this business funding and you have these rolls and rolls of toilet paper and toilet tissue, and you have, now you're building this business credit, what's the plan?
Right. So what's the plan? So for me, my plan was just to leverage business credit to always have the opportunity to do whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to redecorate my salon, which I just did, I can put it on one of my business credit cards and pay it off. If I need to buy a piece of equipment, if I need to pay my employees, like I can do all of these things through my business credit and business funding. I haven't received any big loans outside of I got the EIDL, but also with getting that loan, you had to be set up correctly.
Yeah.
You had to be set up correctly. So my first step, what I want people to take away is, one, don't be out here applying for no loans if you can't pay them back, personal or business. 2, it's a process. You got to work the steps. Do not skip a step. For 3, you can work on your personal and your business at the same time, because, so like I said, tier 1 in the business is the first step. You could be working on your personal credit and your tier 1, because they're not really starting to ask for you to do a guarantee until like tier 2, tier 3.
And what's the guarantee?
Like putting your social security number.
Okay.
That was step 3. Step 4, I don't know what step 4 is. I lost track. But step 4 is to get into my business class. I'm going over all of the details from life experiences. I teach off of life experiences. I'm never going to get on and teach anything that I don't have any experience in, but life experiences. And I have, my car is in my business name. I have a 2021 Mercedes-Benz. It was brand new, off the lot, through my business credit. And I have the Ritz-Carlton of credit cards, which is American Express, and it's for my business. And I have one for my personal. So holla at me.
Drop that mic. You heard that mic drop. Yes, I'm trying to get the Mercedes and the business credit. I'm at the point now, because I've been in business for a very long time, but now just for myself with no partners, nothing else, just business for myself. And it's going on a year. And it'll be a year, maybe, I guess, in like February. Right now we're recording this, it's October. So maybe in February it'll be a year. And so I'm looking to really access all of this, but I'm listening to what you said about the Net 30 accounts. And so I'm gonna go research that immediately, because I know I can leverage some things with the Net 30 accounts. And even how you said your plan was to leverage, some people hear that and it's flop, but I don't think people understand what leverage really means. Do you care to explain that a little bit more so we can?
Yeah, I like to look up definitions.
Go for it.
And then I'll give you my ghetto.
Okay. No, and so while you're looking it up, I'm thinking you said a couple of things. You said leverage, a part of that plan, and just kind of staying ahead of the course. Like you said, you were able to remodel and you were able to hire staff or however, but understanding too that, okay, you're doing this remodeling. You're not just remodeling just to remodel. You're remodeling to create a whole nother aesthetic so you can brand it differently. You're remodeling. Exactly. Yeah, you're promoting the remodeling. You're giving your clients a different glamorous aesthetic feel so they can which creates better talk triggers and hires your retention rating. And so that's leverage, right. And that's planning. And so people, you got to understand that retention is a big part of business. You got to understand that word of mouth is a big part of business. And so you need to do things. You need to get better equipment. You need to have better facilities. You need to have these things that maintain that. And business credit and business funding is how you do that, because simply put, unless you're working a business where the profit margins are 80%, 90% or more, you know, unless you're working with those kind of profit margins, you're going to need funding to really, you know, keep things steady.
Right.
And so usually you can pay that back and you use it as leverage to pay back. You found the definition?
Yeah, so from Google to you, to Google to y'all, it says, to borrow capital for an investment, expecting the profit made to be greater than the interest payable. And then it also says to use something to maximize advantages. And so when I say leverage, I'm saying I'm leveraging my business credit because I can take that money out and use it. It's almost like ringing up.
Yeah.
Take it, you know, like how people get a tax money away when they boyfriend be like, let me get half of that tax money. I'm going to flip it. It's like a flip. So you leveraging that money, you putting that money into a pot to get a greater cost to get your money back plus a profit. So leverage, I leverage business relationships, you know, like we're leveraging each other on this podcast because we are coming together and then we're trying to do a bigger goal. So we're putting in a pot what we have to get something greater.
And I like how it said too, and first side of the definition, it said to make sure that that profit that is greater than the amount that you borrowed plus the interest paid.
Payable. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only, you got to be able to make more than what you borrowed and what you expect to pay back on the borrowing. And then what was the last half of that definition? Because I had a thought on that.
So the second, it was 2, that was 1. And then 2 was use something to maximum advantage.
To maximum advantage, I thought when you said it said to maximize your advantage. And so I thought about my case right now where I was able to create this demand and people are wanting the product that I serve and that I give. But I need money because now I hire people. I need better equipment, so on and so forth. And so I need money to help me maximize my advantages that I have right now. And that's what leverage is. And that's what business credit and business funding allows you to do as a business dreamer, as an entrepreneur, as a big dreamer, as the biggest dreamer you want to. I mean, it's like, once again, it doesn't just apply for entrepreneurs. If you're a big dreamer, what's that big dream going to cost you?
Right. Period. And so I just, my mind started going. I had to Google. I said it was a t-shirt net 30 account and it's Uline.
Okay.
Uline.
Spell that out for me.
The letter U, Line. They have boxes, they have t-shirts, and they do their own design printing, customizing stuff. Uline is a great net 30 account. I use Uline. I was doing these glam boxes. And so I sold them and I got the boxes from them and I did a design. They put the design on a box and then shipped it to me. But you can get samples from Uline. They have everything. They have bags. They have everything. Any entrepreneur, if you're selling something, you can go on Uline and order customizable bags or just plain bags or boxes or tissue paper, whatever you need. They have everything. You can go on there. You can leverage that account to get to the higher point that you need. So you order what you need, you pay it back in 30 days. If you cannot pay it back in 30 days, do not get into this game. If you cannot pay it, because it will mess you up. If a lender sees that you messed up in the tier 1, they're not going to fuck with you in tier 3.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That's like, if I'm a lender and I gave you $1, you can make good on that dollar. Why would I give you 20?
Don't do it. And so for tier 3, you have to have 3 tier 3 accounts for 3 to 6 months, over $150 per month.
Okay.
So do the math on that. You know, like you have to have it showing. And so another thing I want to leave y'all with really quick, if you have a brick and mortar, your electricity bill is a tier 1. So if you have like some designers, some graphic designers are tier 1. I think I was about to say Vistaprint, but it's not Vistaprint. It's somebody else where you can get graphic designs and they
Fiverr Fever. I forget what I call it Fiverr.
I never used them before. But I had one. I got to think about it. Come
Fiverr, I'm like Fiverr or Fiverr. What is it? Fiverr.
Whatever. One of them.
Keep it in the chat. Fiverr or Fiverr. What is it?
Is it Fiverr? Well, they all going to spell it the same way, so we ain't going to.
Yeah. put a long I if it's Fiverr, or put a Fiverr. Yeah, just put a Fiv. Just put FIV for Fiv.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to have those things. If you have a cell phone, you got a cell phone. Who your cell phone company with?
T-Mobile.
Is it a business account?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, right. Can I put the family plan on that? Because I put the family plan on that.
You get, listen, so I have AT&T. And so I was on somebody's plan for a long time. And one day I just woke up and was like, why am I making their credit better and not building my own credit? I went in, mind you, I only had one line because I was on somebody else's line. I did it in my business account just with my EIN and my LLC. This is before I had business credit or good credit. I called. You have to call. This is the thing. I don't recommend going in. I recommend calling and saying, hey, I'm a business owner. I want to open up an account with you guys on my business side. I was eligible for 5 lines. That was like probably 5 years ago. Now I think I can have like 10 lines. I only have 3 lines on my account, which is mine, my daughter. She's my employee at my job. So I'm eligible to give her a company phone. And then I have a tablet that stays at my salon. I could put my husband on, I could put my son on, I could put you on, I could put 7 people on, I could, but why not? Why set my business up to fail? If I can't, my thing is if I can't pay, then I am not going to do it.
Smart. Okay.
So
Yo,
you have a
you
cell
dropped
phone.
the gems.
Yeah, if you have a cell phone, put that cell phone in your company's name. That's why when I call people on a caller ID, it says the Glam Bar Salon.
Okay, it does. Yo, gems drop, y'all. Gems drop. Yo,
join the class.
Join the class, because I was just going to promote it. Yo, I'm going to be backside taking notes. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not a woman trying to dominate a business, but I'm trying to dominate some business. Listen.
This class is open for everybody. And let me tell how much the class is. This class is going to be on November 2nd. I just want to get the price out because I feel like I did it for super low because this is something that's needed in a community.
Yeah, big facts.
And so it's needed. So I'm not trying to gain no money off of this. Of course, my thing is going to act crazy now, but follow my website. Come to my website, Venus McCall, and go under upcoming events, and you'll see. Okay, here it is. The class is super duper cheap because I was like, you know what, the people need it.
Yeah, the people need it. That's why we here. People need it. What is it?
I got an early bird special that ends the 28th for $27.
Yo.
After that, it's $39, and you can get VIP for $50.
Yo, for less than $50 or less, y'all can get this knowledge.
Super cheap.
You don't even want to call it cheap. Super valuable.
Super valuable because it's not about the money. This is about changing community. This is about showing entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs, how to leverage and make money and get ahead. And so when you have funding from your business, when you have low times or slow times in your business, you don't feel it as much when you have some extra cash and credit to play around with.
Biggest facts. When you have your low season, you are able to leverage. That is the top say leverage. You need to learn and use leverage. That is what business and big dreaming is all about. If you're not doing it, you dang sure are feeling that sting of not doing it. That's for sure. But our time is up. We done blessed y'all. Y'all know where to go. VenusMagHall.com for the courses, y'all.
VenusMagHall.com. Sign up for that course. This course will be a one and done. Sign up.
That's a November game 2nd. Changer. Game changer. I know it's a game changer because it already got my mind thinking. I know I'm gonna go check out Uline. I'm gonna go check out some more of these Net 30 accounts so I can start because I want to be extremely intentional about building up this LLC credit and all my LLC credits because sooner or later within next year.
All your LLC.
All of them. Like I need to leverage a lot of money because I'm dreaming big. And I need to, like you said, I need to re-up. And so sometimes we put the cart before the horse, but my horse is galloping and my cart is, kind of straight. Yeah, my horse is galloping and dragging his cart.
Me, but I'm galloping.
Yeah, that's galloping. Ever, yo. So listen, follow me anywhere at I Am Your Brand Man. Google me, baby. I Am Your Brand Man. Check it out. And if you got a service from me, leave me a Google review. But if not, still say
let's talk about that really quick. I'm sorry to come back to the lot.
Yeah.
Why can't you see my Google review? I left you a nice Google review.
Yo,
And I showed it to you, right?
No, I was going to ask you screenshot it because I was like, maybe
I already did. I'll look it, but I already did and send it to you because you was like, yo, that's crazy. I can't see it.
But you're not the only one. Somebody else, that's something happened to somebody else. They said it was actually 2 people that said they left the Google review and I don't see it. And I was like, that's crazy because that would have helped me reach my goal in 2025. And it's just like 4 short and it's like 4 people said they didn't see. I have no idea. I definitely
did. Y'all, if y'all have been day one listeners, I just want to keep y'all up to date because that's what we supposed to do, that I'm still not Googleable. So that's that. But
I can't say that I ain't tried to look at it and go through it because it's a glitch in the matrix over there.
Okay. But in other news, I got the notification about being able to monetize on Facebook. If you've been with us from the beginning, you heard me talk about how I was waiting for the notification. This is y'all getting like real
time,
real deal entrepreneur information from this podcast because I am not up here faking. Like I could have lied to y'all and said, oh yeah, I've been making money off of social media. I kept it real and I kept it thorough. And I was like, no, I'm not, but I know I'm going to get it. I knew I was going to get it. I put in the work in less than a month.
Amen. Look at that. Let's clap it up.
Within a month's time, I put in the work and I ain't got no payout yet.
But it's coming.
It's coming. I'm trusting the process. So trust the process. If you are there, trust the process.
Biggest fact. And on note to that, like I received actually a payout payment. And it was messing up because I didn't receive one payout. And but now both payouts came through and it was good. But now I'm like, because things are happening on one business side, I'm like, I need to maximize this a lot more. Like this payout needs to be more. And if this payout is more because it is simple money from just doing these dang videos, like simple money from doing dang videos.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to realize that when people say they hit 6 figures or 7 figures, like when they're at that millionaire status, it is not from one stream of income. You have to do. And so if you monetize off of social media, that's still your business income because you're doing business things. So it still is your business. Get you more than one stream of income.
At least 7.
You have they say it. You have to have 7 streams of income. That means you gotta be working. You cannot these billions, that's not gonna come easy. And I just was saying this to my husband. I know we over time, but y'all just bear with us for 1 second. I was just saying this to my husband. One of my favorite podcasts, $1 Million Worth of Game, they just signed $100 million contract with the company. And one of the people on this podcast is Gilly the Kid. And he was a rapper. And I was telling my husband, do you realize with celebrities that most of them who really start making money, they make more money doing something than what they started with?
Leverage.
Like he started out as a rapper and he was successful with that, but he ain't making no 50 million. I'm just saying 50 million because I'm sure they split the 100 down the middle. He ain't making no 50 million from rapping. LeBron James, he makes good money playing basketball, but that's not where his real money comes.
Endorsements.
Endorsements is his real money. Kanye West, even though we ain't Kanye fans right now. But Kanye
for yourselves, I still fuck with Kanye.
That's gonna be the next episode.
We can talk about it. I ain't got no problem. I'm K West with you. I ain't got no problem with it.
You must have been watching the news.
I've been watching the news, actually. Well, actually, I haven't been watching.
Black Lives Matter?
Here we go.
All right, next episode. But Kanye West started out as rapping, but with his clothing apparel, that's where his money is coming from. Rappers, that the music is good, but their money comes from their shows, their performances. So get you another stream of income. I started out as a hairstylist, and I'm claiming that business coaching is what's going to take me to the next level. So your first business sets you up for success. Keep going, keep trying. If something don't work, dust yourself off and try again.
fire again. Yo, biggest facts, biggest mic drops, dream big, ball hard. Y'all know what it is. I am your brand man here with the wonderful, the phenomenal. Say your name for the people.
I'm thrown off, y'all. Who raised this guy? Like, who raised this?
You on the Kanye West thing? Oh, we coming back for this episode. We coming back for this episode because listen, I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. You can't. We gonna come back on this episode. I know once I say something, you're gonna say something. Then I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, just don't even.
Yo,
I'm out. Venus McCall. Make sure y'all get in this class. Make sure y'all follow us, like, follow, share, tag a
subscribe,
friend.
all of that. Leave a comment. Show your folks. Dream big, ball hard, y'all. I'm your brand man, Venus McCall. We are out. Peace.